Unlimited Memory by Kevin Horsley. Chapter 4. Never Forget a Name. You or someone you know might be the type of person to admittedly say, "I'm terrible with names." We've all heard this excuse for why someone can't remember names, but you don't have to be that person anymore. Many believe that the ability to remember names is natural. Either you're good at it or you're not. However, if you apply the correct strategy, you can remember the name of every person you come in contact with. If you want to remember names like a memory master, you have to focus on the 4 C's. The 4 C's are concentrate, create, connect, and continuous use. If you can remember this system, you can avoid the awkward or even embarrassing scenario of forgetting names. First, you need to concentrate on the conversation. Usually, when we get introduced to people, they say their names so quickly that nobody can even understand it. To avoid this situation, take control of the introduction, slow it down, and really hear the name. If you don't hear the name, you'll never remember it. If you miss it at first, ask the person to say it again. If it's particularly difficult, ask the person to spell it out too. Take a genuine interest, and you'll find that you'll greatly improve your name memory. Next, you'll need to create an image for the name in your mind. For instance, you may hear people say, "I know the face, but I can't remember the name." That's because faces form an image in our mind, whereas names don't, so names don't normally stick as well as faces. To hold on to a memory, we must make an image out of the name. When you are introduced to someone, you only have about 20 seconds to think about the name and make an association. The author's name, for example, is Kevin, which sounds like cave in. His surname, Horsley, can conjure an image of a horse and Bruce Lee. So perhaps you can imagine Bruce Lee riding a horse into a cave. Some names may be difficult, but with a bit of creativity, any name can be given meaning and turned into a picture. Since learning is all about making connections, you'll need to learn how to connect the unknown person to something you're familiar with. You can do this in many ways, one of which is through comparison connection. With this method, you simply think of someone you already know with the same name. Let's say you meet someone named George. You can picture someone else you know named George, or even think of someone famous like George Clooney. Or maybe the person you meet has a striking feature. Then connect that name to something you remember. Let's say, upon meeting your new colleague, Janice, you notice that she has icy blue eyes. Her name also sounds similar to chain ice. Now, make a connection between her name and the chain of ice swirling in her blue eyes. If you follow these techniques, unfortunately, you'll still only be storing memories medium term. For new information to be placed in your long-term memory, you must use it every day. Try keeping a list of all the people you've met recently in a journal, or even befriend them on your favorite social media sites.